This is Base the Kid, the hardcore casual, in association with the Undefeated podcast, proudly sponsored by the Disturbing Sports London. And I'm delighted to be joined once again by Johnny Nelson. Johnny, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. It was nice to announce the Michaela Meyer against Natasha Jonas 20th of January in Liverpool for the IBF welterweight title. It's going to be a good fight, good night.
Now, I wanted to speak about you really quickly and your initiative with the charity that you have, basically initiated that's going to be taking place and starting in, I think it's February next year. Now, if you could just please give us a little bit of insight on that. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so I know it was breaking news a couple of weeks back, but I want to speak about it. I appreciate everything that you do. So just let us know a little bit about it and how it runs.
Well, the foundation is called the Johnny Nelson Foundation. The foundation is to give opportunity to youngsters like I was. You know, there'll never be another Brendan Ingle. But he created so many opportunities for not just fighters, people outside the ring. The foundation will be working with a couple of charities. One is for homeschooling, teaching, helping deal with young adults that just are not at school. They need to be educated about academically, educated about life, educated of how to get on as young adults and eventually become adults. Schools don't teach you that, and there are schemes up and down the country, and each city, each town has schemes like this where they do alternative ways of teaching for those kids that aren't allowed in the school population. And the other charity we're involved in is the Mama Youth Foundation, the Mama Youth charity, and that helps train up young adults to get into TV. And I don't mean this side of the camera, I mean that side of the camera, to be interviewers, present editors, producers, directors. And so because the amount of times where people think, well, how do you get into that? But you wouldn't want to say that to your spar, you wouldn't want to say that to your mate. And I mean, it's open to everybody, you know, and to go in and get involved and check out the Mama Youth Project. So the foundation is to help attract money so we can help them. And that's it. So if I can use my platform, even if it's to pull a tenner in, or 10 grand in, or 100 grand in, it helps them. Because I knew that when I was in that situation, I was fortunate to meet Brendan. He helped me, so I know what he did and how it did for me and how it changed my life. So I think the Johnny Nelson Foundation, which is launched on the 3rd of February, that's what it'll be about. And I just think if I can help one person, the job is done.
Well, Johnny, I want to say congratulations, and it's a brilliant thing what you're doing, so you have my respect. With regards to this press conference, Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Meyer, very professional, as always. Both women are usually pretty professional, but there was some competitive tension up there. What's your thoughts on the fight, and are you sort of happy that this is, I guess, what we're going to be kicking off the year with?
I think it's a great fight. I think it's a really good fight. I think I love the fact that Michaela brought in the debate of making it 3-minute rounds. I've always said that's what they need to do in women's fighting. I think women's boxing. I think it will make a lot of difference between certain winners and certain losers. The tables will turn because it's a different game, man. It's like saying the amateurs to the pros, two different games. And so Michaela said, I want that. Natasha had no idea that's what she wanted. This might be setting the bar for this to happen. I think I spoke to Robert Smith, and Robert said, it's up to the fighters. I want to see that happening. You've got two skilled fighters. One's hungry, Michaela coming up, jumping up the weight to get in there with Natasha. And Natasha, she's steeped in pedigree. She's the older fighter, but she's been overlooked. The back end of her career, she's getting most of the success as a professional. But you underrate her punch power, her boxing ability, and boxing IQ. So I think it's a good fight. These two, they don't need to be nasty. They don't need to be off with each other. Totally professional, but it'd be a good fight.
And what do you think each fighter has to sort of work on or worry about from the other one, in your opinion as a former boxer?
So Michaela needs to work on pace and speed. Michaela, she has that spikiness about her way. I don't think she's the kind of fighter that'll be bullied. She'll be talked into a fight. But that's exactly what suits Natasha, because Natasha's the older one of the two now. So Natasha doesn't want to have to go looking for you. She'll stand there and have a tear up. Body shots are ridiculous, and so I think these two, there'll be no going missing, and that's why I think it makes such a good fight. So Natasha's got to talk her into a tear up. Michaela's got to use her brain, box and bash, because if she walks into a tear up, you make a fight very even, and so that's why it's intriguing, this fight, and especially in Liverpool as well.
Well, I was about to say, yeah, going into Lions then, is that another added pressure for Michaela? Is that almost more
Michaela's come over to the UK, so the second she steps on the UK soil, she's in the Lions den. She's not the home fighter. So, and I always say, if you're going to be a champion, you're going to be a winner, you've got to be able to fight anywhere in the world and come back a winner. And that's what I think a world champion is. So she's going to fight for the IBF title. She needs to be able to perform abroad and win abroad and come home. Because if you need home advantage to be successful, are you really world champion? How many world champions travel the world and defend and come back champion? I did. And so that's where you get the respect of other fighters to think, you know what, my man's travelled everywhere. You know, he still comes back a champion. So I think it's a good test of your cojones, of who you are as a fighter.
Okay, couple quick ones, because I know that we do need to sort of move away. So when we go to like the next card, so we've now got the rescheduled Joshua Boatsi and Dan Aziz taking place on 3rd of February. Now, there has been some criticism, the fact that obviously now it's taking place at the OVO as opposed to the O2. Now you've got two Southeast London boys being promoted now in Northwest London. Do you think that could potentially cause an issue in terms of like travelling? Because for me personally, I live in Southeast London and it takes me 2 hours to drive to Wembley.
You still go. You'll still go, and the thing is, you'll go because you want to see the fight. You know, I live in Sheffield. You know, you guys are in London. You'll still go. So I don't think it makes a difference. I think it'll be a great night of boxing. I know they were trying to announce the Conor Ben Eubank fight the same night. I never thought that fight was happening because of the situation with Conor and the British Boxing Board of Control. So now, you know, concentrate. I think it'll be a good fight all round. It's a sellout, so I think it'll be a good night.
Speaking of Conor and Chris, so it came through from the BBBOC that they've rejected the application for it a little earlier on today. Do you think it's the right move ultimately?
Yes, without a doubt. The Boxing Board of Control didn't stand firm. They would undermine their own authority and set precedent for other situations coming forward. It's the best thing they could have done. You know, sit down, get it dealt with correctly, Conor, and move on. I'd love to see the fight, but not under these circumstances. I think the Boxing Board have got to think of the future and understand what they're doing.
And last one, so Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor had their rematch over the weekend. What did you think of the fight? Do you think the right person won, or how did you sort of have it? 1-1, huh? Yeah, but I think Katie Taylor, she showed a tenacity, a strength, a gut, a want, a desire to pull the win. I think the knockdown in the first round was bad. Getting knocked down like that from a jab, there was no trip. It was a good, solid shot, but Katie still dug in deep and came back to it. I think she deserved a win. I'd like to see it again. I don't think it'll happen again, but I'd like to see it again. Right, Johnny, I'm going to leave it there. I'm looking forward to when you come on the breakdown so we can actually have a proper in-depth chat. But thank you very much for your time, as always. Thank you.